Ever since Matt Stafford entered the league in 2009, his talent was clear to everyone. But after a dozen years with the Detroit Lions, of mostly losing and 0 playoff wins, his career was headed toward what-if status. Mainly, what if he played for a more functional organization with greater talent surrounding him? Fortunately for Stafford, Rams GM Les Snead is a gambler and went all in to get Stafford with one goal in mind: win the Super Bowl this year at home in SoFi Stadium. Now only one game away from that becoming a reality, it appears the trade and the high price was worth it. While the Rams have star-studded talent up and down the roster, they are here because of Stafford, who has not only been lights out in their 3 postseason games, but he has saved his best throws for down the stretch in critical moments against the Bucs and the 49ers.
Long time coming. Spent a lot of years in this league, and I've loved every minute of it. I sure am happy for this opportunity for not only myself, but really so many guys in that locker room that deserve this too.
You can argue there is no player who will be on the field at Super Bowl 56 whose career narrative stands to benefit more with a win than Stafford. Quarterbacks are fairly or unfairly judged by Super Bowls. Will Stafford join that exclusive club and cap off a dream season his entire career has been building toward this moment?
Welcome in two-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden here to break down the quarterback matchup. Start with the veteran Matthew Stafford. What would you say are his strengths?
He's super talented when it comes to throwing the football. His arm talent has been well documented. We've seen that throughout his professional career, and we're especially seeing it this year with a sound structure organization, right? An unbelievable play caller in Sean McVay, outstanding pass catchers surrounding him. We're able to see the Matthew Stafford that many people thought we would see throughout his entire career there in Detroit. Yes, he's a superior, talented guy throwing the football. He can make any throw you can think of, and there lies a difficult task for Cincinnati, because when you think you may have Matthew Stafford contained, he can throw across his body. Granted, that's something that you don't want to do, but when you have the type of arm that Matthew Stafford has, you can complete those said passes as well.
All right, as someone who played corner in 2 games of this magnitude and won those 2 games, what's your approach in how you attempt to contain Matthew Stafford?
Well, Hakeem, I think first and foremost, you got to watch a lot of tape, right? Look at some of the defenses that have provided issues for Matthew Stafford. And the first defense that comes to mind, even though they beat them last week, is the San Francisco 49ers. Remember, in 2 opportunities in the regular season, San Francisco, their defense, they had 7 sacks. They forced 4 interceptions. They also had a return touchdown defensively from Matthew Stafford. So if you look at what they were able to do, they put pressure on Matthew Stafford in those 2 regular season ball games. Didn't see a lot of pressure last week in the postseason NFC Championship game, but in the regular season, they harassed Matthew Stafford. He is not at his best when that pressure is getting to him. He is not at his best when the pocket is starting to collapse. That's the best way to have success against OBJ, Jefferson, and Kupp. Putting pressure on Matthew Stafford, because if he's not comfortable, you better believe the numbers won't be there for his pass catchers as well.
Matthew Stafford playing in the Super Bowl for the first time in his 13-year career. Joe Burrow playing the Super Bowl in just his 2nd season in the league. One of his strengths is how much swagger he has, walking in the building, just his whole vibe. How much does that elevate his strengths on the field?
It's huge, because players see that, his teammates see that, and they gravitate to him because of how cool and calm he always is. That's a strength that many of us wish we could get. We can't go to Walgreens and buy coolness. We can't go to Walgreens and buy just staying calm and composed. That's who Joe Cool is. Remember when he was at LSU, me and you working together every Saturday, highlighting Joe Burrow. I'm like, Joe Cool. His Joe Cool Burrow, because he's always cool. And think about that. Think about this, Hakeem. How many times have you seen a quarterback get sacked 9 times, get hit double-digit times, and still deliver when he's supposed to deliver? Most quarterbacks would be rattled. They'll tuck their tail. They're not going through the progressions because they're nervous of getting hit. Joe Cool got sacked 9 times against Tennessee and stood up and kept swinging. And then eventually he was starting to connect on those said punches. That's an element that has been beneficial for Joe Cool Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. And that is his strength. I understand you want to have arm talent, you want to have accuracy, but if you can always be cool, calm in the pocket, regardless of what is going on around you, you will be successful.
Yeah, he was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL this season. But one of the things.
And they're in the Super Bowl. Think about that.
Right, exactly.
And they're in the Super Bowl.
Right, exactly. Because he's that tough. And one of the things that he did in college and then now in the NFL is absorb hits and get right back up. He remains aggressive even after tearing his ACL and MCL in his rookie season. B-Mac, how do you disrupt Joe Cool into making mistakes?
I mean, you got to get after him, but we've seen that. You just gave us the stat. If you're not aware, Joe Burrow he was the most sacked quarterback in the National Football League, over 50 times. They surrendered 9 sacks in the playoff game against Tennessee, and they were still able to win that ball game. So how do you get to Joe Cool? That is a difficult question, but I think I may have an answer for you. You get to number 1. You know who number 1 is? Jamar Chase. And when Jamar Chase is doing numbers, coming through in the clutch with big-time receptions, this offense is moving. They're doing numbers as well. They're putting points on the scoreboard. So usually I would say, like I said against Matthew Stafford, hit him, sack him. But in recent ball games, we've seen sacking Joe Burrow and hitting him doesn't rattle him. But if you can take away his best friend, you know, growing up, you had a best friend in the neighborhood. Anytime that best friend went on vacation with his family or wasn't home, you were sad. You wasn't feeling yourself because your best friend is gone. But when he comes back, all is well in the neighborhood. That's the relationship they have right now in Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. They have that best friend vibe. And when he is involved in the game plan and catching passes, Joe Burrow is getting hit. He's smiling no matter how many times he's getting hit. So the best way to have success against Joe Burrow, phase number 1. Take Jamar Chase out of the ball game, out of the game plan, and let's see can Joe Burrow thrive like he's thrived throughout this postseason, throughout the regular season. And I'm trying to find something because he's been so phenomenal. But like I said, hitting him might not be an answer. You might need to take out his best friend.
Well, we saw Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase win a national championship. Why not a Super Bowl, right? I mean, look, they did it at the college level. Why can't they do it at the NFL level? With a Super Bowl victory, B-Mac, Joe Burrow would be the first quarterback to win the Heisman, a national title, and a Super Bowl. And he would have done it all in a 3-year span. Superstar. #WhoDay.
No question.
B-Mac, great stuff. Appreciate the breakdown. Former cornerback in the NFL, won 2 Super Bowls with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's a look at how Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford stack up. Burrow was the NFL leader in completion percentage at 70% and in yards per attempt with 9 per. Stafford second in passing touchdowns with 41, behind only Tom Brady's 43. Brady retired with 7 Super Bowls. Stafford and Burrow playing for their first.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.